Birthday Hawa, birthday Abashai, birthday Hawa, birthday Abashai, call Halayim Wahwa, Alahainal, Yahweh, Bashim El Shai, Bashim Kagadash, bless you, Yahweh, bless you in the name of only God Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of Holy Spirit. All praises and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bashim El Shai, Bashim Kagadash, which I uttered in the Paleo Hebrew, the language has returned unto us Hebrew Israelites, which consists of you so called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, and you Israelite foreigners, likened unto the speckled bird that look like the other heathen nations where you've been scattered to. Lineage, by the way, your father going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, which we try the spirit by the spirit, whether we are children of God or power. Of course, giving double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Who well. All right, peace and salutation to the elect. First fruits, starting with the prophets of the 144,000, but not our number. That count. All right, all men out of each of the 12 tribes of Israel, equating all the way to 144,000, 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes. Of course, she giving a shalom to that peaceable multitude of the 1/3, which are no prophets, but are believers in the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, Shemel Mappa, my name is Mappa, my YAIQAB, Makana from the Great Millstone Camp, specifically Plain Tables in the city of Philadelphia. Abawa, I'm Lamadi Ma'ait, coming with a lesson, or we lesson. This is a response lesson to the brother YAIQAB from the, I believe, in the main camp in New York. Brother that I watch a lot of his videos and stuff and get a lot of edification from him, and the spirit, like I said, that's a brother I really pray for, and not, to make it, so of course shalom if you do watch this video and such, shalom from me and to you, from me. All right, Mayan Awathia La Ka to you. All right, Baruch in the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, so this lesson about to the nuclear 5. You can't stop biblical prophecy. Third World War is our third woe, which is talking about World War III, is inevitable. So in the actual chat, I was pretty active in the chat, which let me just see if it actually pops up here, but I do have the chat on my actual it's visible on my let me see if it pops up like this way. Yeah, that's how it is. It's I got some stuff, so that I was just basically speaking in response to the brother, different things he was speaking about in the lesson. So the nuclear P5. So when I seen initially the lesson, I believe it. I was like basically linking it with some of the different nations that's part of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which is also known as the Iran nuclear deal, right, which is against nuclear proliferation and such. All right, which they want to basically restrict Iran from, basically developing nuclear missiles and stuff like that. But we know the United States, I believe through Donald Trump, left the deal, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure I double check. Yeah, they announced it. Let me see. I know that. And I have to see if they actually officially did leave it. All right. But see, because pretty my yeah, it's a P5 plus 1, right? So China, okay, France, Germany and Russia. So you got basically, some of the EU nations part of it. United Kingdom, all right, and United States. Okay, so the P5 plus 1, all right, and the P5, I believe they are speaking about permanent members of the UN Security Council, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I just was going in and wanted to make if anything, a correction in any of my like different statements that I had put in the brother's comment board and such, because you had the P5 plus 1. All right, and let me just what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to it on my actual phone, because I can't on my computer. Apparently I can't go to it on my computer. Somehow it's blocked for me to be able to do that on the computer, which is ridiculous. All right. So P5 is namely China, France, Russia, and the UK and United States, and then the plus is Germany, adding Germany. All right. So basically the P5 or P5 plus 1 is often referred as as the E3 plus 3, which is by European countries. It's a group of 6 world powers which in 2006 joined together in diplomatic efforts with Iran with this regard to its nuclear program. All right. So you have that P5, all right, which that's the UN Security Council's 5 permanent members. All right, and this I'm sourcing this off of Wikipedia. All right, and that's the UN Security Council 5 permanent members. Okay, which are 5 sovereign states to whom the UN Charter of 1945 grants a permanent seat on the UN or United Nations Security Council: China, France, Russia, United Kingdom, and United States. All right. Permanent members were all allies in the World War II and the victors of that war, and are also states with nuclear weapons. All right. So as the brother said, the nuclear 5 as he go into that's your P5. Okay. So let's go back to this here. They issued a statement on atomic war and arms race, and basically the brother did his lesson, and we know that Iran has been been increasing their centrifuges and such, and they're they vowed, this being the 3rd is actually the date on which they they actually what is it they had General Soleimani was assassinated actually by, of course, I believe if I'm not mistaken, a drone strike, all right, at an airport. Okay. And they vowed, of course, to do a retaliatory action for that, so you have it that which I'm gonna just go here, which I have one of the statements which the joint statement of the leaders of the 5 nuclear weapon states on preventing nuclear war and avoiding arms races. I got this from the WhiteHouse.gov. So you had the Republic of China, the French Republic, and the Russian Federation, and the United Kingdom, and United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Okay. And the United States consider the avoidance of war between nuclear weapon states and the reduction of strategic risks of our foremost responsibilities. We affirm that nuclear war cannot be won and never be fought. Because obviously with nuclear war, which is biblical prophecy, all of these states is going to lose. All right. And who's going to win is Yahweh Shem Yahushai and the nation of Israel, ultimately, the elect. All right. Because, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to bring down all of these hills, the mountains and hills. Okay. Higher governments and smaller countries' governments. All right. As nuclear use would have a far-reaching consequences, we also affirm that nuclear weapons, for as long as they continue to exist, should serve defensive purposes to deter aggression and prevent war. And we believe strongly that the further spread of such weapons must be prevented. All right. And then it just says we reaffirm the importance of addressing nuclear threats and empathize the importance of preserving and complying with a bilateral and multilateral non-proliferation, disarmament, and arms control agreements and commitments. We remain committed to our nuclear non-proliferation treaty obligation, including the Article 6, Roman letters right there. Obligations to pursue negotiation in good faith on effective measures relating to cessation, pardon for mispronunciation if I have, of the nuclear arms race and an earlier date and nuclear disarmament, and on a treaty on general and complete disarmament under a strict, effective international control. We intend to maintain and further strengthen our nation's measures to prevent unauthorized and unintended use of these nuclear weapons. We reiterate the validity of the previous statement on a detargeting, reaffirming that none of our nuclear weapons are targeted at each other or any other state. All right, but like I say, this is lies obviously being told. Though they have treaties, they get broke. Russia and U.S. U.S. Itself broke. I mentioned in the brother's comment board 2 different treaties that was broke. You have the intermediate range nuclear force treaty, and also that New START treaty, which brothers can go into that was broken. All right. And United States, which is a part of this P5. All right. And Russia is part of that P5, So, and you have, of course, statements like as the brother mentioned about how, these different missiles can get to certain places on Earth. And it's such X amount of time and such like that. You know what I mean? And that's all for the Lord's prophecies anyway, because U.S. and Russia, you know what I mean? Different allies of Russia, China, etc. They're going to come against ultimately Babylon the Great, America. All right, and also even the EU, different member states and such, Great Britain, which is outside of the EU at this time because Brexit, they're going to come against the whore America. All right, which that's all biblical prophecy. All right, which what I'm gonna do, since like I said, I just mentioned a lot of different things. I'm just gonna as the brother didn't get to the Joel, I did mention that in his lesson. the actual missiles themselves, they are gonna accomplish their particular mission, which is to hit his intended target. All right, so I got actually Joel. I mentioned also Revelation. This was that the 17th chapter, and then I also got Second Esdras. I believe it's 6th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just get that real quick. And then that'd be pretty much the lesson, just through the spirit. All right, all of this, of course, geopolitics is all linked all together with biblical prophecy. All right, because the Lord is controlling the hearts, meaning the minds of the kings and such, and he turneth it wheresoever he will. So, of course, it's the will or the ratazah of the Lord, his delight to, of course, have World War III. So World War III will happen. All right, it's prophecy, because the Lord is not a man that he should lie anyway. All right, as the brother put the precepts that none of these things, these prophecies shall fail. So it might be let me see, what was that precept? It's been a while since I went into this one. The precept that I'm thinking about. Second Esdras. I thought it was 6. Let me see. It might be 16. Gotta remember it. It's like in the beginning verses. Yeah, so this is Second Esdras 16, and 1, it says, "Woe or destruction be unto thee, Babylon," talking about America and Asia. "Woe unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?" All right. Sword is talking about these nuclear missiles and such. All right. "A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it?" All right. Scriptures say how a fire not blown shall consume thee. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay. Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? All right. The scriptures talk about how, and was that Zechariah or Zechariah, I believe. This is the core. Is it? Let me see if I can get that. I think it's 14. This is the curse that goeth. This is Zechariah chapter 14 and 12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord shall smite all people that fought against Jerusalem, which these nations have done so. All right, the P5 have done so. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. And that's through nuclear destruction, nuclear radiation. All right, nuclear fallout. And their eyes shall consume in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Okay, and so the scriptures describe, the prophets describe these different occurrences of this destruction. All right, and they put it down in the best of their ability, in which we have more wisdom than the ancients. All right, so the Lord had to open up the full understanding to us, where in times past the prophets didn't understand things they're seeing, but they wrote it. All right, and we coming back, and our stead with the understanding, with the seals broken. All right, so going back, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? All right. Gave my precept: may any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may any one quench the fire in the stubble when it has begun to burn. Right, you're posing that question. May one turn again the arrow that is shot from a strong archer? This is all of the Lord. All right, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? So that already is an easy answer that, and all these different nations can't stop what the inevitable, as the brother has in his lesson, the message to the P5. You can't stop biblical prophecy. All right. The Third World War is inevitable, and their statement of particularly talking about atomic war and arms race and such, they're not supposed to be used. They're a deterrent. Well, they're going to be used. All right. So, that's biblical prophecy. That's the scriptures. All right. So, going on, it says, he shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof, and the sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot in the ends of the world. Remember, these nuclear missiles are ICBM missiles. All right. They can go from one continent, intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right. From one continent to another. All right. So they're not gonna, they shall not miss. And the precept easily to precept is Joel, the 2nd chapter, which it says here, straight to the point, is verse 7. Okay. I start at, verse 6. Read, it's good to read, all of this too, but I don't want to make the lesson too long. Before their face the people shall be much pain, all faces shall gather blackness. It says, the self-explanatory, they shall run like mighty men. Talking about these missiles and such, right? It says they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways. All right. And they shall not break their ranks. Okay? Not at all. They're not going to break their ranks. So they're not going to miss. Going to ranks is AHCH in the Hebrew, which it means their path. Okay? Simple as that. The path of where the Lord is having to hit is going to hit. Simple as that. All right? Neither shall one thrust another. Okay? So they ain't going to be destroying one another and such. All right? They shall walk every one in his path, and when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. All right? So, no nuclear defense systems or anything is going to stop these missiles or nothing. Missiles ain't going to hit each other and stuff like that. What's going to happen is they're going to hit its target to bring forth the judgment of Yahweh Hashem AHCH. And really, like I said, I could close off the lesson, with that. This is Revelation 17. I'm just going straight to the point, because you have some of those P5 or P of the P5, which is you have it the United Kingdom in what is it? United Kingdom and France. Okay. It should be a part of your 10 horns and such, right? The ancient vassals, all right? States originally, all right? Part of the common markets, all right? EU later, came about, all right? Which is just the rebirth of the Rome coming back, all right? Which America sit upon that scarlet colored beast. All right, beast is NATO. All right, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. All right, you have it. Part of those member states, which particularly right here, you have it right here, UK, all right, and France, okay, and other, like I say, other, of course, a part of the EU, all right, but even though, like I say, Britain left it, but they, of course, you know, with the Brexit, there's still, you know, the original 10 horns, you know, which you go back to the whole beast sign, you know, part of those original 10 horns was Britain and Northern Ireland, I believe, or Britain and, so you make sure I just go double check. You have, yeah, Ireland and Britain, or England, okay, right? Okay, part of the 10 horns, which represents the common market. Heck of the EEC going to that, okay? And they're known as the European Union, all right? But you have it. It says, which thou sawest upon the beast, beast NATO shall hate the whore America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, nuclear fire. All right, for the power hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast. All right, the beast being NATO, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. All right, and though, like I say, Russia is not part of the beast, you know, they part of that P5, okay, but in that P5, okay, you know, in biblical prophecy, when you read about Gog and Magog and the Medes, you know, you read Isaiah 13 and Jeremiah speaks about in the 50 and the 51st chapter, talk about, you know, Russia and such, North Country, I believe. You know, they're gonna bring forth destruction to World War III. All right, so these nuclear missiles are going to be used. You can't stop the will. It says it there plain in the scriptures right there, if you have understanding. So that's pretty much the lesson through the spirit. You know what I mean? Giving all praise to Yahweh, Shem Yashai, Shem Kakodash, you know, and giving double honor to our apostle. That was a great millstone. Peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom.